When I was 23 years old, started in the insurance business. And, you know, I was on sort of a no-pay contract until I did something. And so anyway, every once in a while I'd get myself in a, you know, big deal. I mean, this could be a big sale. And I would start mentally spending the commissions. Then I would start actually spending the commissions. Now I've got myself set up for a beautiful game of what if. See, what if I don't make this sale? Remember, I wasn't really saying what if. What was I really saying? I'm not going to make this sale. And that's going to be a tragedy and the end of the world. Now, if this was a big deal, obviously in order to be effective as a performer, I'm going to have to be pretty creative and outwardly focused. But if I'm saying to myself, it's not going to work and I'm going to be a tragedy, in a tragedy, am I going to be creative, relaxed, and outwardly focused? No way. And am I going to make the sale? No way. I'm going to say, oh, my gut told me so. Okay, that was happening to me over and over again. And then I did something that I would now call a lucky learning experience. I want to share it with you. Probably the most significant thing I ever did. All the training, all the other things that we have that we develop really stem, I think, from this one single lucky learning experience. A single conversation I had with me. And I want to share it with you because I can remember it, you know, vividly, where I was and what I said and exactly what took place. It was an important time in my life. Anyway, what I said was, very simply, Larry, you're becoming an emotional basket case. You're not going to make it in this business. And this is self-talk. And I started, you know, analyzing what was going on. And then I made a deal with me. And the deal was very simple. All it said was, no one sale is ever going to be important to me. No one sale is ever going to define who I am or who I'm going to become. And it was fascinating that, like the, you know, the spelling problem, like somebody took a big boulder off my shoulders. No longer was I putting myself on the line every day. I could lose 1, 2, or 3 sales in a row, but they were all one at a time. I found out that I got better. I freed up more energy. I worked smarter instead of harder, and things went well. And it sort of led to another process, too, because I also had some other beliefs. I didn't solve all my problems with that one conversation, but it was the beginning. I also found that in that business, I had to call on 20 people, almost like this whole group here, to make one sale. Now, remember, I had a basic belief that everybody ought to love me, nobody ought to hate me. How did I view that? 20 people, one sale, 19 rejections, right? And one person loved me. Terrible odds for somebody who believed they ought to be loved. And then I had another lucky learning experience, because this was getting to me. And what I did was I found out that the one person who bought, I mean, I did a lot of analysis, you know, and I've been in long enough to be able to make some sense out of this. The one person who bought was about a $500 commission to me. That's what I got. So what I did was to take this 20 and divide, that was the whole group I had to call on, and divide it into the $500, which of course gave me $25. And then I would go out now and I would start, you know, making my call, make my whole presentation, do my very best. But if I didn't make the sale, sure not going to buy, okay, then to myself I would say, well, thanks anyway for the $25. And then I would go to the next person, go through the whole process, and we're going to make the sale, knew it, gave my best shot. To myself I would say, well, thanks anyway for the $25. By the time I got around to the guy who did buy, $500 commission, what did I say to myself? Thanks for the $25. That's right. Now what happened, and it didn't take long, the 1 out of 20 became 1 out of 10, the $500 became $1,000, pretty soon it was $100. I could hardly get rejected. Thanks for the $100. Thanks for the $100. Thanks for the $100. The point I want to ask you is, did the events of my life change? Did the age change? No. What changed? The belief. And of course that substantially changed how I felt about them, which actually ultimately did have some influence on the events themselves. Does that make sense? Sure. What I did was to change a painful situation into a positive situation. But the situation didn't really change at all. But what I believed, you know, whether I'm talking about studying or working on the job, see, it's not that the job that makes me happy, it's what I think about it that makes me happy. Everybody is so caught up in, you know, all the problems of their lives. Well, they're out there, but they're not going to go away. They're not going to go away. We're the ones that can alter everything that's out there by just exactly the way we see it and what we believe about it.